Okay, let's talk Six Nations.
Okay, let's do it.
Marseille, Ireland, and France. The final that never was.
I think after week 1 of Six Nations, we'll have a pretty good indication as to who's going to win the Six Nations.
So,
I think it's going to be dependent.
That's a big
what?
call.
Yeah. I think it's dependent on that first game.
Okay.
France,
So
France,
what
Ireland.
about England, Scotland, Wales?
I think they've got I don't think Wales have got a shot at it.
They've got the worst group, though.
Yeah.
DuPont
group.
out, eh?
The Six Nations, they have groups in Six Nations this year.
Squad.
As amazing as DuPont is, for me, I think when we talk about those two being the front runners, the loss of Johnny Sexton and the incumbent having to fill huge shoes.
Yeah.
So I think not only his playing capacity, I think the intellectual property he brings to the team and making them function. I think whoever's coming in now is going to be thought of in the same light, but they're not necessarily going to have the same gravitas that he has. So
That would
I'll
be
be interested
Crawley,
to see how they play.
Yeah, I've been
assume.
impressed with Jack Crawley
Yeah.
in what he's done for Munster in pressure situations. Probably, a previous season more than now, and I just don't think that. Yes, I think Sexton's effect was huge for the Irish, just the way that he makes the players around him play better as well. But that's one play out, and I think it's such a good environment that they'll be able to get through that. Whereas from a France point of view, it's not just DuPont. It's DuPont and still no Intermac and Geelong out, and I think one or two others. Yeah, one or two others as well. Your lock for
Thibaut Flamand.
Thibaut Flamand out as well, and a couple of others. So, suddenly it's 4-5 guys.
Yeah.
That's very influential.
Key players.
I think what is
Key player.
exciting for them, Jalibert for me is a fantastic
Great
player.
Yeah.
The whole World Cup,
Ramos
he was
is playing
paired
fly
with
half.
someone he doesn't play with week in, week out.
Yeah.
With DuPont obviously sitting out, he's going to be partnered with Luku, and that Bordeaux team have been on fire this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched our Sarries team away in Bordeaux, and it really was.
Hammett Sarries,
They
yeah.
were
They were
on
amazing.
fire.
And then you take Toulouse.
Yeah.
That I think it's going to be very difficult to beat any team to beat them, even though Bath kind of
Yeah,
pushed them. But then it's difficult to see France losing. I'm just thinking the Irish.
France and Marseille is a problem. They're hard.
Yeah, but
That crowd, we've been there, that crowd, the whole atmosphere there, that is probably the hardest start Ireland would have there. I mean, Ireland have won up in Paris, but in Marseille, it's just a different world there.
different.
It's a different world there. Tommy Omani, Irish captain. Would you have gone with that?
Who else?
Doris? Ryan?
I think he's the one for the future.
Yeah.
I think Caelan Doris is the one for the future. But
From what I hear, Omani doesn't even have a contract at all. He's negotiating his contract.
yeah, well, with
Trying to
Munster.
renegotiate with Munster.
So-
And
so-
Ireland
And
top it up.
central contract.
Yeah,
they've
but
got a
yeah,
central contract system.
Yeah,
right?
you need to understand firstly the Irish contracting system, and with Munster, they're not getting value out of him. They're probably paying him big bucks, but not getting value from him because he's never playing for them, either through injury or when he's playing with Ireland. So that's kind of understandable. I don't think that's a reflection on where he is in the pecking order in terms of selection for Ireland. So it's interesting. I think it's probably a stopgap for now for them, just to stabilise after, call it a disappointing World Cup for Ireland because they didn't go probably where they should have. But for the future, I think Caelan Doris will be the guy that kind of takes over.
And the reason I respect the decision is because sometimes people make a decision for what may be the best in 4 years' time. I think you also have to look at the here and now. And if he's overwhelmingly the best guy to be the captain for this year at least, you should go with it. He's maybe worked for 15 years in Irish rugby, never been given that opportunity. So why not give him a shot if he's overwhelmingly the best candidate?